There are many, many posts and webinars that are trying to scare you into utilizing the new tools to automate things in your business, to use AI, but not many actually show you how. This webinar is about that. In just a few minutes, you're going to learn how to use Zapier for automation. We use it for marketing. You can use it for whatever you need. But this will give you the basics of utilizing Zapier. And inside Zapier, we will also showcase the use of AI, mainly for generation of content and posts and marketing. But this will give you a very solid idea of the kind of technology that is available and what you can do with it. So without further ado, let's get started.
All right, so today we're talking about automation without the use of code, and the platform that I'm showcasing is called Zapier. It's funny that just recently there was a wave of posts on social media regarding OpenAI ChatGPT coming out with its own automation tools and agents automation, and pretty much every single expert out there has mentioned that Zapier is gone, it's dead. I don't agree with it. None of it is actually killing anything. It just sort of makes more things possible for us, the consumers or the business owners. Now, CSI Works utilizes Zapier specifically for marketing purposes, right? So we distribute our video content on other social media platforms, starting from YouTube. And that is what I'm going to demonstrate. To get started, I'm going to click on this create here. We're going to go with a zap, right? So we're going to create zaps. Funny enough, you could use AI here in automation, but also Zapier has a co-pilot. It's their AI that they give you that helps you build things out. And it's actually very powerful and it does a very good job. And again, how were they able to accomplish this? Well, it's because they had to code it. They had to develop whatever AI engine they wanted to use into their platform. And that's what makes it effective. Not like they couldn't have just, signed up for some AI out there and said, here, help us do whatever. That's not how that works. And I'm going to demonstrate this specifically. So first, I'm going to tell the co-pilot of what I'm trying to build out. And I have a feeling that it's actually going to do 100% of it for me. I want to repost videos published on YouTube to my LinkedIn account. So VI on YouTube, and I want automation to post it on LinkedIn. Here's a simple sentence, and now let's watch it work. So it figured out what I want, and it says, I'll help you create automation that automatically reposts your YouTube videos on LinkedIn when you publish them. Let me build these Zap for you. And as you can see, it created a two-step process, starting with YouTube and then goes to LinkedIn. That's not the end, right? So we're not done. It's not that simple, obviously, but pretty remarkable, wouldn't you agree? There it is. All right, so it looks like it's done and it tested it. And now let's see what it built. So let me show you how this navigation works. I'm going to close this agent for now. When you navigate between these two steps, right, in the process, it shows you this box here. And this box is extremely important because it shows you the breakdown. So you have the setup, you have the configuration, and then you have the test. And let me walk you through these steps. In the setup, the agent already did this for us, right? So it selected that we're working with YouTube. By the way, there's a lot of things you can work with, a pretty big list of different apps. You can load more and more and more. You get the idea. A never-ending list of things. Stripe is here. We grabbed our YouTube, right? So that's what it shows. It says that we're running YouTube. And then it says, what are the trigger events? Now, this right here is important because what you see here, these are your limiting factors. Let me explain. What we're using as a trigger is either a new comment on video, live stream, new video by search, new video on channel, and new video in playlist. These are pretty robust, different ways of triggering things, and together, gives you a lot of different options. But if something that you want is not here, that's it, you're out. Zapier will not help you with no-code solution. That's it. It's just simple as that. So these things do have limits. It's not just, help me automate everything and anything. No, 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 no. There's a structure nonetheless. But, pretty powerful. This right here helps you connect to your specific account. Mine is already connected. It's just a very simple interface of going through, pointing to the right account and then pointing to the right channel, and that gets you this. Now let's go into the configuration. In configuration, we need to specify the channel, right? How do you find your channel ID if you don't know what your channel ID is? I'm going to show you how it's done. So first, go to your YouTube channel. For us, it's going, we have like a link. We have point of interaction. So this points us to our YouTube channel. Here's the CSI Works YouTube channel. And from here, we have to go to settings, like that, and then go to advanced settings. And that gives us our page where we can find our user ID and our channel ID as well. That just goes here. And that's it. Now the test will basically test the connection. It'll go to your YouTube channel and it'll grab a couple of videos, 3 of them, that it can use as a test case. Watch. So it grabbed this video, it grabbed this video, and it grabbed that video. Right, and you can see what these records are. Core POS and Business Life, that's the title. Demo of Clover item grouping, settings, and registered app and how it reflects fix or match discounts. So these are the 3 records that are now loaded in my test chamber, and I can run them through my process further if I wanted to. And that kind of completes, right, the work with this particular object here. Now, this is our destination. This, let's go to the setup. Right, so what we said was we're working with LinkedIn, and these are the create, right? So we're not taking anything from LinkedIn, we're pushing stuff to LinkedIn. And what can we push? We can create a company update, and we can create an update, create share update, or do some API requests. One of the limitations that we found is that, so here we have a post, there it is. This post was made by Zapier Automation. And it's important to notice that what we're doing is we're sharing a YouTube video, right? Here's the LinkedIn, right? So here's the video, and that's on YouTube. And because we're sharing YouTube video on LinkedIn, LinkedIn algorithms will not favor this video over original content that is uploaded to LinkedIn specifically. Now, that's my video. Nothing is preventing me from taking that same video and literally uploading it on LinkedIn. However, not with APIs, because LinkedIn will just not permit it. There is not an option on Zapier that will allow you to upload a video. Say you had a video in a folder, you had it in a file structure, you just want to use automation to push this video to LinkedIn. No such thing. And that one example is extremely sort of telling of the limitations and the boundaries of these no-code automations. Because, when you're working with LinkedIn, you're sort of at the mercy of what LinkedIn wants to allow for its APIs to be capable to do. And then you're also working with Zapier. So now you're at the mercy of what the Zapier wants to program, because until they've developed it, this no-code automation is not real. Right, so it was just pre-programmed. That's why it's no code, because they had to program and develop all of these interfaces and all of these conditions. No matter what you chose, you would end up at the type of integration that somebody else had already developed. That's the point that I'm trying to make here. And that right there is nuances of automations in general, even today in 2025. And that's why OpenAI, ChatGPT is not going to kill Zapier. Zapier is not going to kill ChatGPT, because when ChatGPT says, we're going to automate things and we're going to help you build Agents. Yeah, sure, fine. Say you're doing the same thing with LinkedIn. Well, ChatGPT is also bound by what LinkedIn APIs allow and don't allow. And there's no way around it unless you make deals or code things or develop things. And that's the point. Now, at the end of the day, it's still beneficial of having videos dispersed this way. And let me show you the kind of things that can be done and the kind of things that we do CSI work. So specifically with this video that we just looked at, like if I go back here at the test, right, you can see that I have content, for example, that talks about PAX hardware. Then we have content that talks about an app called Mix or Match discounts. To us, to CSI Works, these are different products. And so what we're saying is that on LinkedIn, we actually have a structure that follows the following format. There is a showcase page, and then there's a company page, right? So the page that is Mix and Match Bundle Builder, this one that you see here, that's a product showcase page. And our objective is that it lists all the videos from our YouTube channel that are related to this product. So whenever we make a video about mention of Mix or Match app, we want the LinkedIn showcase page responsible for that product to pull that video and publish it, right? That's very powerful for us and valuable. Even if that video is shared on LinkedIn, on YouTube, still powerful. That we want for our automation is to take a video and publish it on the showcase page. But then after a showcase page, it needs to also go into a company page. So let's say a video about Mix or Match app needs to go on the Mix or Match app showcase page, on CSI Works company page, and whatever other pages that are related. Let's say that Mix and Match in that particular case is showcased on Clover. Well, then we have a Clover page. So we want all apps that are available on Clover to be posted on a page that is related to Clover apps. You see what I'm saying, right? And I'm going to show you how we do this. So I'm going to add a step actually in between the two right here. And that step here is going to be what's called paths. This is just like a if-then statements, right? Or here it is. And so what happens is when the video is published, it needs to be evaluated on this path. And depending on what happens, it needs to either take path A or path B. Well, what can possibly happen? Let's take a look. We're going to take this path, and we're going to say that only continue if the title of the video contains, you can also say does not contain, exactly matches. You see where it goes, right? So this is your logical selectors here, right? So for us, it's going to be title contains Clover or the word Clover, like that. If the word Clover is mentioned in the title, then this path executes. Well, you can add more if you want, right? You can do and, you can do or, add or rule, for example. Here you go. This thing can get as complicated as you'd like. But this way you can split paths and you can say, all right, so this right here, let's rename it so that it's our path. I'm going to rename it. I'm going to call this Clover path. When videos have the word Clover in it, they're going to go here. When videos have, take this path here, title contains purpose. These are mutually exclusive for us, meaning if we're publishing a video about Core POS, that video will not feature Clover. We could use this path here to, do what we need. And we'll say, all right, so this is going to be our Core POS. All right, so let me switch to the one that's a little bit more complete, but it was actually done along the lines of what we were just working on. And I will show you little things that I have added here. So first of all, we put in, so we have these videos that are starting from YouTube, and then they go through this path and they get published according to our pages, as I described, either on the showcase page and then on the company page and vice versa. But what we've done here is we put in the delay, because what happens is the following. A video gets published on YouTube, and immediately thereafter it gets republished and reposted on other platforms. But it happens so fast that YouTube has not finished processing its thumbnails, and then when you publish that video on other platforms, the thumbnails won't pull up. And so we put in a bit of delay here to give us, 5 minutes basically for the video to completely propagate on the YouTube channel, to get indexed, to get properly cached, and all the thumbnails and videos showing up. And then when it gets reposted, those things get pulled up easily. And now I want to talk about the AI component. And here it is. Right. So how do we insert, and what does it do? Basically, we took the video, right, that had Hey Vista AI in it. Right. So that was the title contains Hey Vista. And then that video gets published on Hey Vista showcase page. And let me demonstrate that real quick. So here's our Hey Vista page, and you can see here, it'll post the videos, and all it does is just pulls up the title and puts it in here. So far, we haven't really been writing any content, per se, with automation. We've just been reposting. But here is the process where that changes. We grab this video, right? So we say, okay, now this video that we have needs to go on. So we're using AI by Zapier, right? And AI by Zapier is basically ChatGPT wrapped in the Zapier wrapper. And let me go ahead and edit this thing so we can see how that's configured. All right. So in the setup, we're going to say that, we can work either with AI by Zapier, like this, or we can work straight with ChatGPT, like that, right? And there it is, the ChatGPT or Zapier. We chose the Zapier for now, so we can go ahead and navigate away from that, adding a human in the loop step. Okay, then we're gonna go to configuration, right? And we're gonna say, the provider is still OpenAI, as you can see, and essentially it's a ChatGPT 4.0 mini. What does it take as an input, right? So what we're giving to AI agent is a title. We're saying, here's the video title for the video, okay? And then we gave this prompt. And the prompt says, I managed a LinkedIn page for CSI Works, and I would like to share a YouTube video related to Hey Vista AI. Right, because we're on the Hey Vista path, I can be that specific here, right? The post should be crafted from the perspective of CSI Works, highlighting the benefits of features of the Hey Vista video. Sure, to include a tag for Hey Vista AI, LinkedIn page, and incorporate relevant hashtags to increase visibility. The post should be engaging, professional, suitable for our audience. And then I will say, a concise and engaging post text around 25 words, include the tag for Hey Vista AI, and I provide the tags and suggested hashtags. Then what we do is it spits that out as an output. That's really all that is. And it grabs this, and this is the output, right? Discover how Hey Vista revolutionizes SME. It's just an example, right? So of a test that it ran from the test asset. That's how that would work. And then that gets posted on, right? So here we're saying, all right, now go to LinkedIn, create a company update, and the configuration looks like this. This is the company page. What the content is basically the output from here, as you can see. And then you have the YouTube video posted. And the rest is just the basically boilerplate. And what that does is it grabs this original post, gets AI to put a blurb about it, and then posts it on the company page. This is the automated use of AI engine to generate content, not necessarily to automate things, but to automatically generate content. And this is what it would look like on a company page. Let me demonstrate. So here's our company page, and you'll see that this text here is all written by that engine, okay? And it'll be different and it'll be relevant to whatever it's talking about, right? So here it's talking about mix and match and Clover POS, and you'll see that it'll say that. Now, if you want to kind of visit our CSI Works page, you'll see that all of these posts are made by our Zapier automation, and these specific blurbs here are done by the AI, not by people. And there are limitations to it. For example, let me show you something. This right here is meant to be a tag, and you can see that it doesn't translate. And the only way to do that is like if we edit this post, and if we just redo this @ sign, then it'll pick up on our mix and match. But until we do that, and see if it there it is. Right now, it's tagged. Can you get the tagging work by Zapier? Probably not. Okay, that would be the limitation. And this is what I was talking about, that to every automation, there's going to be things that it cannot do. But ultimately, this is the flow that it follows, right? So we grab a video, we wait 5 minutes, then we decide what the video is about using this logic here. If it's about Core POS, it's going to publish on Core POS and then on, on other company pages. If it's about this, it's going to go here and so on. We don't use AI a lot, but like basically right here, we use it to post content essentially. And that here is, kind of an example of the kind of things that you can do with Zapier. This here is another automation that we have that works on its own as well, and it spreads our content, and it properly spreads our content on Facebook. Let me explain. So this is the process that we follow. When we post a video on YouTube, we also keep that same video file in our Google Drive, right? And then the Zapier goes in, it still uses the publishing of the video on YouTube as the trigger point, right? So let me show you how this works. What we're saying here is that when we publish this video on YouTube, that triggers the event, new video in channel, okay? From there, Zapier goes into Google Drive and looks for this video. The video will be there with the same title. File name will match the title, right? It'll grab that video and it will upload it to Facebook pages, okay? And this is the proper publication that LinkedIn does not allow you to do. Like I said, with these automations, the best you can do with LinkedIn is just share the video from YouTube. But Facebook actually allows to upload a video if you have the file. And so that's a very simple process that we follow here, where a video upload is still triggered by us, pushing something to YouTube. That's basically our default. And then from there, it finds that video on Google. It publishes it on Facebook, and then deletes the video permanently. So it kind of cleans it up after itself. Very nice and neat automation. And so here are all the videos that are pushed by Zapier automation. Facebook is very stingy with traffic. They will give you practically no organic traffic unless you're willing to pay money. But still, even this little bit of content or this little bit of exposure is better than nothing. And that's why we do it, because it doesn't cost us anything to actually spend time publishing. If we were spending time publishing each video by hand on Facebook, it probably would not be worth it. And to be honest, until Zapier, we never bothered, because Facebook won't give you too much traffic. And it never seemed like it was worth it, right? So you get about 300-400 views. This is all organic traffic. And because it's organic, you can see how little you get. No matter what you do with Facebook, you cannot SEO your way into millions of views unless you give Facebook money. But if it costs you nothing to push this content through these automations, then why not? This is how we use Zapier to achieve some marketing content distribution. What do you think? How would you use it?